It was okay.
Oh, you sound great, Chris.
All right.
By the way, if any, we're on live, but if anybody didn't know, we have a special guest here today. But let's start off the way we always do. Shout out to everyone. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Fantastic Duo Show. I'm here once again. I'm a little confused, Steve, but yeah, you're here with me with the glasses.
I don't know.
Whoa.
I'm just being goofy today. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's fan appreciation day, man. We're just having a good time, man. And I'm just like, whatever, man.
I was about to say, who is this man?
Check this out. Check this out.
It's gonna be that type of night. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, it's so funny, man. To see your whole face disappear. So anyway, man, we're just having fun.
Yeah, so big shout out to everybody on the chat room. What's up, Aishu Death? Thank you for resubbing now for a second month here on the channel. Shout out to a friend of the show and Mike Rome and Slinky and
Mike
everyone.
Rome, what's up, buddy? I see you on there, man. Good to see you, brother.
Everybody's the entire team is here tonight, baby. I love it. I love it. I love to see it. I love to see it. So, Steve, I know we have someone here today. I think. I'm not sure. You might have.
Is somebody supposed to be on the show today with us?
I think so. I think his voice made it through in the beginning as we were starting. As we
went live, we heard. So the cat's out of the bag. All right. Well, not that it wasn't already. Everybody knows this guy that's coming on today.
Yes,
man.
let's do it, brother.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Why don't you introduce our guest tonight, Alex?
All right, so
what's cracking?
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a super duper kaduper fan. The man has over 1 million subs on YouTube. He's killing it right now in the fandom scene with all his fan films and all of his shorts. He is the epitome of like professional videographer slash fandom flash everything because he has it going on. I want to introduce to you today, guys, Mr. Chris Cantada. What's up, Chris? Did I say your last name right?
Yeah. You
okay,
said
perfect.
it awesome.
All right, perfect.
I've heard a lot of iterations of my last name, but that was pretty good.
By the way, man, we are digging your background. You know, you have it going on.
Man, he's like definitely morphing into the.
Gotta represent, Steve.
Holler, dude. I appreciate you, man. That's beautiful. I love it, man. So welcome, bro. How you doing? So you're talking to us all the way from Manila right now, from the Philippines.
8 a.m., baby.
It is 8 a.m. in the morning. See, now that's
8
dedication right there, fellas. Yeah. Okay, this is what you want to. If you want to get ahead, you gotta be willing to get up at 8 in the morning. And I don't know if I could do that, personally. So.
I mean, yeah, you got it going on, man. Getting up this early, and when I first hit you up, I'm like, I don't think he's ever gonna see my message because we're like on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to day and night. And it was really cool for you to come on here, and again, thank you for coming on. I know Steve said,
I apologize for that because I rarely look at that other folder.
The general, yeah.
Because, no, yours was in the other one.
Oh, like in the message request, in the request. Because we reached out to you on Instagram.
yeah, because mostly it's just a bunch of kids asking for toys.
Well, that's what Alex wanted too. Like secretly, he was like, "Hey, can I get some toys?"
Chris, that was actually my first message to you, bro. No, man. So I'm really happy. So if anybody has any questions for Chris on the chat, man, don't forget that you could just add us at Fantastic Duo Show so that I can see it. And it pops up. So if you guys have any questions for him when he begins his journey here with us, So let's right off the bat, Chris, tell us a little bit about how you got into this, your YouTube career and whatever. And by the way, everybody loves the shirt that you're wearing as well. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Everybody, including myself. I might have to come steal that from you.
Yeah.
If I come, I'm fly over there just to get that shirt. So Chris and I have met each other several times because he is always at the Power Morphicon, which is the Power Ranger convention that happens every couple of years in Los Angeles, and I've always seen him there, and we've always said hello to each other and chat. But this is like kind of our first time really like getting to talk and get to know each other a little bit more. So I'm excited to hear all your story, man, because I just think what you're doing is phenomenal, and the things that you do, it just keeps that fandom alive, and it keeps every interest, which in turn keeps us breathing, you know what I mean? So it keeps life to Power Rangers. So we appreciate you, and yeah, man, please tell us, man, like how did your love for Power Rangers get started, and then how did like you start doing like all of this stuff where it just like stayed with you?
Yeah, so like every 90s kid, uh, Power Rangers was part of my childhood. Even here in the Philippines, because we got it on one of our channels here, and yeah, I've always had this love for that show as a grade school kid. But toy wise, I don't think I ever saw it any Power Ranger toys when I was growing up. So uh, when the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers came about, it was blowing up on my Facebook. I was still doing other things. Like prior to this, I was a professional musician,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
so music was my life. And but I was also a geek, a geek through and through. So
As
when the
we all
20th,
are.
yeah, so when the 20th anniversary popped up, I've been seeing all of these JDF, Super Mega Force, reunion stuff on my feed, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the 20th anniversary. I'm an adult now. I think it's time to get a cosplay. And now I'm an adult as well. I think I can afford to buy my own toys.
Right.
So that happened. I got my first cosplay, the Green Ranger, and I felt it wasn't complete if I didn't make a morphing video.
Mm.
So I
Right.
just shot a morphing video on my phone, edited it on iMovie, popped it up on YouTube, let it be for a couple of months. After that, I just went back to YouTube just to check, oh, how's this video doing? And then lo and behold, it was being viewed, like
Right.
Nice.
surprisingly. So I made another one, and it just so happened that uh, the second one did well as well. And so that was basically my whole start to the YouTube geek Power Ranger scene, and eventually, what really cemented my I guess
Your legacy in
my
YouTubing,
no,
brother.
the style of what I do is when I started to put stories into it. So because a lot of people can, anyone can just do more videos.
Anyone could do the morph. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but I think the
You had to step
mixture
your
of
game up.
with the mixture of some stories, some really some of it was just like stupid stuff, but just for fun. And then eventually now I really do reels with real scripts and real
Right.
Yeah.
martial arts and all that. So it's yeah, it's actually nice looking back on
Yeah.
how I started as well.
Yeah, I've really loved to watch how those videos have evolved. But what I like the most about it is that all the fans, like, of Power Rangers are also now jumping in on your videos. Like I saw one where there was I think this is one that you filmed at Power Morphicon. I remember when you guys were filming it, and I was taking a break from my table, and I walked past you guys outside, and I saw everybody jumping in on this video, and I was like, what's going on here? And it was like I kept walking because I was like, I didn't want to interrupt or anything like that. But then I ended up seeing like the video that you put together, and you had all these different people doing all these morphs together, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
so cool. So, but
That was fun. Yeah.
to me, I mean, for me, like for somebody who was, who did the show and was on it and stuff, to just see this so many years later, and not only just like, but somebody from a whole nother part of the planet, you know what I mean? That
Exactly.
I would have probably never ever otherwise have met. So I just find that fascinating, man. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, you're right. I find it so fascinating that someone who is uh doing well in this fandom is not even from the US.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. Like
Yeah.
I'm it feels like I feel like a super lucky dude.
Right. Well, I want to backtrack just a little bit because I remember you were saying like as a kid that you didn't get any toys. Now,
Yeah.
were the toys available over there in the country?
I I'm sure it was because as an adult I talked to some of my friends
And
who
they
had the
had stuff.
toys.
Okay.
So maybe I just went to the wrong toy stores, or my parents
Right.
just didn't want to bring me to the good toy stores.
Yeah, well, because I mean I was just thinking maybe along the line because I know like in the States, I mean that was one of the things that made Power Rangers like so popular too was they were getting so much news stories about how parents were like fighting over the toys to
Yeah.
get the last to get the last Green Ranger or get the last Red Ranger, and we were getting a lot of like media attention as a
Yeah,
result
yeah,
of
yeah.
that because at Christmas time all the toys would sell out so fast and people would literally like fight each other to get that toy for their kid, and so I didn't know if like I didn't know if it was the same kind of phenomenon like around other parts of the world where Power Rangers was popular but and had toys
I
out.
think in the Philippines it wasn't as like rowdy as that.
Right.
Because if it was, I would get in on that.
Yeah, you would have known about it, right?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
at 5 years old, you've been like kicking, yeah, give me that toy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, cool. I was just wondering about that because I wasn't sure.
So let me ask you something. You said that Power Rangers reign supreme. Oh, how is it like? Just to jump around a little bit here, how is it like now? Is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers still like the hit out there for you guys? Like it's crazy, right? Because everybody always goes back to those seasons, always. So what did you get Super Sentais, or do you just happen to just go straight to the American version of it?
So I fell back in love with Power Rangers. Aside from the 20th anniversary, I fell back in love with Super Sentai Gokaiger. I never uh, thought that a show like that existed. And I was in that generation who thought Power Rangers was an American original thing. So
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah,
Wow.
so like 7 years ago, I was uh, re-educated. But it's so weird because when I was a kid, I was actually watching a bunch of Super Sentai, like Bioman, Mask Man, but I never put two and two together that it was related. Like it had a correlation.
Right.
So yeah, here in the Philippines, Super Sentai reigns supreme for sure.
Right.
Tokusatsu, because here in the Philippines we love Asian anime, Asian shows. So Super Sentai has a big following. But with Power Rangers, for sure, Mighty Morphin is number one
Right.
because
Wow.
basically the bulk of the fandom of the Super Sentai Tokusatsu uh, people here, they're basically my age. So they're basically the Mighty Morphin
Right.
age. So when they
So
were kids, for sure
yeah.
they would have watched the show.
So there was no like say like the Zhu Ranger series or O Ranger or any of those or like a couple years before that
No,
showing or airing.
I don't. I'm not sure, but the popular ones for sure here in Manila was Bioman,
Okay.
Mask
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, Five Man. Those a little bit older.
Oh, right.
Power
Okay.
Rangers.
Cool. Common Rider 2?
Yes,
Ah, of course. Yeah.
huge.
Damn.
Even
Nice.
until today, yeah.
That's
So,
awesome, man.
and I have I'm gonna be going in and out, but there's a question coming from the chat room, and they want to know who's your favorite Mighty Morphin Power Ranger of all time.
I
Hate to put you in the
guess
spot, but it has to happen.
aside from aside from the Mighty Morphin movie Red Ranger, well, I started for sure with Tommy, the Green Ranger, because
Just kidding.
green was my favorite color growing up, and even until now. Like, and then when he popped up as the villain, it's like, wow, there's a bad Power Ranger, and he has this gold thing. So I think that kind of got me interested uh, more in the show,
Yeah,
aside from
see,
having
Alex.
a big crush on Kim.
Oh, right. Everybody had that too. But see, Alex, goes back to what I was saying about the bad guys. Everybody likes the bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one who's like
I
mysterious.
know,
We
I
were
know.
talking about that in our last podcast earlier this week. I was like kind of like going. What was it last week or was it the week before? I can't remember. But it was
The
one of
week
our
the week
earlier
before you were.
Oh, the week before.
Yeah.
I was going off on how I just like the bad guys because I always thought they had the coolest costumes and they had like they weren't bound by all the the goodness that the good guys had to adhere to. So I was just thought it was And then you come in and you say, oh yeah, I like the Green Ranger because he was evil. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting, you know. So
Yeah.
it's always just so much more interesting.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
So no, you're right, man. Hey, listen, we're here to ask questions and get all this stuff. So let's get back on track. So now you got these videos rolling. You said you started getting a little bit more intricate. So with the scripts and whatever. How did you start getting in touch with former Rangers and like was it something that you reached out? I noticed a lot of them started jumping on with what you were doing. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with how you guys got into it.
It was just me uh, having the balls to message these guys.
You
Like,
don't get what you don't ask. You don't get what you don't ask for, right?
That's it.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Um,
Good for you.
I think I watched Power Rangers in Space during Power Morphicon. So I guess after Power Morphicon, when I came back home, I was into In Space. So I was so into Andros, Christopher Kamen Lee,
Yeah.
and I just messaged him, and then he replied.
Oh,
And
that's
this
so
was
cool.
this was
Wow.
this was the time. This was the time when, uh, because later on I started to film the Rangers on my own with like when I'm in the States. But when that happened, we had to do something like this. Like you film your thing,
And then send it to
send it to
you.
me. I'll try to link it up. So that happened with Christopher Kamen Lee. And then since Yoshi Sudarso, the Blue Dino Charge Ranger, is also a legit Power Rangers fan, we knew each other in one of the groups. And then I also sent him a message and then we did something.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, that started the whole thing.
Wow.
And then when uh, the Power Rangers 2017 movie came out, I was lucky enough to be sent to Los Angeles to interview the cast.
Oh,
So
okay.
I figured, man, I'm already in the States. Let's do something. So I contacted Yoshi again. I contacted Brennan Mejia. I
Yes, yeah.
contacted Allison McInnes,
Yeah.
and we did a bunch of videos during my 5 days in LA. So it's a real great feeling, to be able to do this. And I think uh, it wouldn't have happened if my numbers wasn't a bit high, because I guess if you get a message from someone who wants to do a video with you, you'd think, oh man, this is just a fanboy. He just wants to meet me.
Right,
And then
Right.
right.
Yeah,
when you
yeah, yeah.
click when you click on the link, it's like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
people watch his stuff. So I guess it's a nice feeling to have uh, that I guess power
Right.
of,
Yeah,
of numbers,
yeah.
because that helps make you into a legit collaborator
Right.
Sure.
and not just a fan, because
Right,
for
right,
sure
right.
for sure they know I'm a fan.
Right. Yeah. 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 Exactly. That part is understood. But I think it's like I don't know. Maybe the best way to describe it is like the more that people that you have, then it's like if we're trying to reach out to as many fans as possible, if we do a video with a fan that has 2 followers, I mean, it's like that's not we want to be able to try to like have as many people as possible
Yeah.
be able to enjoy it, the collaboration. So I think that probably definitely had something to do with it, but that's great, good for you.
That's
And
really cool, man. Yeah. And so when you first started talking to these people and whatever, well, how was the reception from the fans for you? Like, was it something instant where they said, "Okay, this guy's now messing with legit former cast members"? Was it a slow drip where people were like, "I still got to see what this guy's coming up with"? Because we were just talking off air, and it was what, almost a year ago that you got your 1 million subs. By the way, congratulations on YouTube. That's a
Thank you.
humongous, I mean, like, accomplishment. And is this something now where you think of yourself like, how's your mindset now that you're at this level?
The, you can always get better. That's my whole thing. It's not like, yeah, 1 million, I can stop. It's like once I got the million, I had to really think of other ways to up my game because uh, you know the YouTube and I guess the Twitch audience they're not stupid. They
Right.
know when you're fake. They know when you're not doing what they think that you can or what you're capable of doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just try my best to uh, even not just for the audience but for myself to make something that I'm proud of. So it's always like that for me. It's been so hard now though because of quarantine, because all this creative juices are flowing, but I have no way of, uh, you know, making it materialize because
Yeah.
I usually shoot with a crew now and with
Yeah.
a team, and it's been hard. But
Yeah.
yeah, after I hit the 1 million, I figured it shouldn't stop
Right.
here. I should try to figure out how to one up myself.
And how to maximize your potential now, because you have it in your hand. It's only going to get better. Now, is this living out there in the Philippines and everything with what's happening with quarantine now, for you, right? Is this has this become your job now out there? Are you a professional YouTuber videographer? Is that something that you're doing now professionally,
Yeah,
or are you still
it's
holding
been
down something else?
it's been a professional thing for 6 or 7 years. Yeah,
Wow, that's great, man.
this has been a full time gig for me because aside from Power Rangers, I do a lot of like events here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Like I also weirdly enough went into this world of press junkets. Like how I said, I interviewed
Yeah.
some of the Japanese
Interviewed
Power
other
Rangers.
celebrities and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the first time that uh, it just dawned on me that oh my gosh, I kind of went into a different a different subunit of
Yes.
YouTube of my YouTube career was a few
Right.
years ago. Someone took a chance on me. He brought me to the Captain America Civil War press junket. He introduced me to the right people. They got me to do uh, like a collaboration with Chris Evans, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian
So
Stan,
cool.
and I got to even interview them. So it's like after that moment, I figured, oh wow, this. I think I just went on a different level, which I never knew was even possible.
You didn't even know
Because
Right.
where it would take you. Yeah.
yeah, so after that experience, I just started getting invited to similar similar things. So I'm like, wow, uh, I never in a million years thought that I would get to do something like that.
Yeah, I remember when we were doing the movie, when we were promoting the movie, the Power Ranger movie back in the '90s. We had to go do several of these press junkets, and
Yes.
that's when we would meet people from different news outlets and stuff all over the world and all over the country and stuff. And so I always thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, man. We got these guys are going to be doing some some press for us, in another country, whether it be it France or the UK or in Japan, or not Japan, but sorry, the Philippines and places like that. So we had some people like that would come out from different parts of the world, and I always thought it was so cool, like it's like cool. We're getting all over the place, so
And
that
and
was awesome.
and you also got a chance to meet Dwayne the Rock Johnson, correct?
Oh my God.
What was
That
that all about?
I'm jealous of that. I would like to meet him.
that that is like he is the I guess the most popular man in the world that I've ever
Yeah,
met.
well, he's also the highest paid right now for the second
Yeah.
consecutive year in all of
So
Hollywood.
so I kind of I linked up with the with I think Universal Studios here in the Philippines, Universal Pictures,
Okay.
Hmm.
and and a SM Cinema that's like the biggest uh, cinema house here, one of the biggest cinema houses here. So they linked up with me and then they sent me to Hong Kong because they shot the movie Skyscraper in Hong Kong and
Oh,
Dwayne Johnson wanted to have the Asian premiere in Hong Kong. So perfect for me because it's like an hour flight away.
right.
So
Yeah.
it was like a legit fan experience because it wasn't a press junket interview. It was uh, me and a bunch of other fans from around the world to meet, like a meet and greet with
Yeah,
him.
right.
But it was not like hi, shake hands. It's like we were like talking for a good uh, almost 7 to 10 minutes. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
super exclusive, and Dwayne Johnson is the man when it comes to fan relations because
Yeah,
I think
I've
he loves
noticed
his
that
fans so
too.
much. So I was lucky enough to be in that situation and to be trusted to uh, to represent the Philippines in something like that.
That's amazing, man. That's really cool. And you know, I've been catching up on a lot of the stuff that you've been doing as well. And when that really like struck me, I was like, wait a second, what the heck? The man is just
My
chilling
thoughts
there.
exactly.
Like I'm
What
pretty
the
sure like
heck?
what was going on, you know, like I couldn't even explain him to myself like what would be going on. Like I'm not the type of person who like goes gaga over people, but it's just like when you meet someone of that presence, right, that has put in that the work that he has, you
Yeah.
know, who was worth $7 when he first started and is now worth $380 million. You know what I'm saying? There's something to be said about the work that he's been putting in. So now you've been doing all of these Power Ranger videos. You say you started getting into the press junket, right?
Yeah.
Is there have you before COVID? Where were you at? Were you coming back to the States? What were you doing? You know, like what were you doing besides that one? The Power Ranger, what was it the beat down, not beat down, the fight that you did, the video where with Jason Font and everybody else, where they were just like kicking the
I
crap out of each other. Because I think that
one
that was like the last thing that happened before quarantine, right? Or was it during it?
I think that was before that was during the start of
The
quarantine when
beginning. Okay.
I was trying to what can I do? Like I can't film outdoors.
Yeah.
Right.
And then yeah, I was inspired by that video of all these American martial artists who did
Yes.
that trend. So I was like, I'm sure people want to see that, but in Power Rangers costumes. And I figured might as well invite uh, some Power Rangers actors if they're free. And I got like 13,
Yeah, you
13
did.
actors. Because I
Yeah, it was.
mean,
It looked really cool too, man. I was
in
like,
my head, I'm like, I'm sure these guys are not doing anything as well. So hopefully they have the time and yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was really cool, man. I liked it, and you know, I kind of must my invite must have been in the
Ah.
request request side.
For sure.
Putting Chris on the spot, baby.
No, I'm just messing with you, man. It's cool, but you
But
know what? We'll definitely do something together though too. You know,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
you know, Chris and I were just talking a little bit off air. Because I do a lot of these like comic book like tour stuff now. It's kind of what I'm doing because they don't do Comic Cons anymore. But you know, we're talking as soon as like the Philippines open up, I'd like to come out there and we can put something together. We'll put together a special kind of video. But I want to do like a big movie screening because the movie specifically is like really popular in the Philippines, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
All the
yeah. So,
90s kids, when you say Power Rangers movie, boop, though.
right. So
Oh
so
my
I
God.
think that would be fun to do like, you know, a giant screening with a Q&A for everybody and then, you know, like just do like a big comic book store appearance or a big toy store appearance or something like that.
Yeah.
And then whilst I'm there, we can do the we could put together some kind of a cool video, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But I
That would
gotta
be
get
fun.
myself in shape first, though. Gotta get myself in shape. Then
All
now,
right.
the spandex don't look the same now on this dude now these days.
so before that video, what were you what was keeping you you know, like going and besides the fan videos, right? Like what were you doing? What was a couple mix of the things that you were keeping yourself busy with? Are you by any chance, before you get into that, are you like writing scripts or doing anything fun like that?
Oh, I am very involved. Like since this is my channel, it's like I have to be involved in everything. So the scripts, I have a script writer with me. So we brainstorm together in all of these skits I do. Sometimes I make them on my own. Sometimes he does, and then most of the time we really collaborate. And yeah, I mean, even if it's directly my demographic, they're mostly kids.
Yeah.
it's still it's still hard to write something that has a family vibe,
Right.
Yeah.
but also uh, trying to
But
get
still
the
looks kick
adult,
ass.
yeah, trying to get
Yeah.
that adult market as well.
I
So
saw
yeah,
I
I
saw one
involved
video.
it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, go, yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, I saw one video that you did, and I think it was like, you're doing a little nod to the Umbrella Academy, and you had the little kid. He's
Yeah,
like, I want to be part of the Umbrella Academy, and like,
yeah, yeah,
and he even put the little red tape. He put red tape around his suit
yeah, yeah.
jacket so it could look like their suit jackets and stuff. But it was like, I think that you were like trying to, like, in the end you ended up like teaching him like a lesson about something. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? Like, you don't have to have superpowers to be, important and all that kind of stuff like that, which I thought was cool. I like it. The videos are kind of touching too, which I
Yeah.
think is kind of cool.
So
So
that's what's really cool about this age of social media. Uh, um, I get to work with like like companies like these movie studios, but also like with Netflix and
Right.
HBO. So that Umbrella Academy, that was actually a sponsored video. So
right,
Netflix
right.
got in touch with me and they wanted to do a collab, like an official Netflix collab with them. But it will live on my channel. So that's some of the stuff I do.
Wow.
When I do those things, obviously, if I'm promoting like a different fandom, uh, the first thing always is I can't put any Power Ranger thing in that video because it's like a they don't want to promote
Well,
another
yeah, to
fandom.
promote, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You can't
yeah,
promote somebody else in that. So no, that's
yeah,
understandable, and more power. I love to see the expansion like that. You see
yeah,
you expanding and doing other things with other genres. That's very cool. But you did give a little nod to the Japanese style where you got the monster that you're fighting,
yeah,
and then you got to
yeah,
tell the monster, wait, hold on, time out for a second.
yeah.
I need to talk to this kid for a minute. Like I said, it's funny. The
Yeah.
monster's like, oh, come on, I want to fight.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
very Japanese looking,
yeah, yeah.
so that was I thought it was pretty cool. So even though there wasn't any Power Rangers specifically, there was
Yeah.
definitely a nod to
Like a
that
little
type
hint, like
of,
a hint
yeah,
or nod.
exactly,
Yeah.
a little, yeah, exactly. I thought it was
Yeah,
kind of cool.
that's cool, man. So, really quickly before we continue on here with
I
the
know we're getting a lot
show,
of people in the chat
I
room
know,
too
yeah,
saying all kind of stuff, man.
I want to give a big thank you to everyone who's on the chat room, everyone who's watching right now from all over the world, and once again, you guys could listen to the show tomorrow on our official podcast on iTunes and on Spotify. You can download that and subscribe. Leave us 5 stars. And you could also watch this again on YouTube as well, 24 hours later, man. And anybody who's out there who's a sub, thank you, and who continues to sub, and all the new subs coming in today, thank you very much. We are here watching Mr. Chris Cantada Force, right?
Yeah.
Cantada Force, is that how you say it? Like together,
Yeah.
right? Okay, cool. I don't
Yeah.
want to mess it up, man. I'm trying to
And I
like hype
think,
you up, bro.
I think too. What Chris might do as well is, if and this would, I try to encourage you guys to go over to the page and check stuff out, especially if you haven't done so yet. And maybe he'll post our interview up, and then from there you can start to look at all his other stuff. Because if you haven't seen it yet, it's really cool. Which I imagine people have already. Most people on here have probably already seen all your videos and stuff. But for those who haven't, make
Yeah,
sure you
head over
guys
there.
go
Yeah,
check
for
it out,
sure.
man.
Head over there. I have another question before we continue with the stuff here from the crowd. Is Chris? You should make not a question. I think it's more of a statement. You should make a video with Johnny, Steve, Austin, Jason fighting Goldar. Like a different version of the Dino team up, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's
After
probably gonna be
quarantine.
after quarantine. Yeah, that's
after,
gonna be.
yeah, that's a tall order right now.
Yeah.
Try to get, well,
Just
I
thinking
mean,
about it.
yeah, try to get Austin and Jason and Johnny and Steve together. It might be tough.
Yeah, I don't know what Steve is doing
just for a
nowadays,
lot of
but
reasons,
yeah.
Yeah. I know one person said, "Chris, where did you get your shirt?" And
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of wondering the same thing 'cause I like
This
it.
was actually, I'm not sure if it's being sold, but this was a gift from
Shard pool.
no, no, no. The guy who makes my costumes here, Kamen Rider Nimoy.
Oh,
Oh,
He was
yes.
just testing it out, and then hey, why don't you try this out for your workouts and stuff? And then yeah, it fits well, but I'm not sure if he's continuing doing it. So
Oh,
I think it was a
yeah.
one off. But yeah,
Is it?
Shard Pool, yeah, he does a lot of these as well.
Right.
You
And
ever-
is it sublimated or is it like a printed on screen,
I
like
think
a
it's
screen?
like a
Oh,
sub.
it's sublimated. It's like built into the material.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah,
Nice, yeah.
All right, nice.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's crazy because you're also known for your workout videos. You know, when you're pumping that iron with your Nikes and stuff. And Dad, I want to transition to that really quickly, man.
Yes,
you
yes.
are a sneakerhead. You know, I don't know if obviously you're familiar with the term. That's what we call it here in the States. You know, like. I see your posts all the time. You put a really good story about how you were growing up and you always wanted Jordans, right? Am I following the story correctly? Tell us a little bit about that for the people who don't know. Let us know that story and how you.
When did your shoe fetish begin?
Yeah, when did you? Yeah. What do you?
To be honest, my sneakerhead life just happened a few months ago because I'm sure you've seen the promos of The Last Dance.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. With Michael Jordan. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when I was a kid, like every kid in the Philippines, we're always into basketball. Basketball is like a sport that is very popular in the Philippines. So as a 90s boy, the number one team, the number one player at that time was the Chicago Bulls and Jordan.
Yeah.
So I was a huge Jordan fan. I had the jerseys. I had one Jordan pair because my mom didn't want to buy me.
Right.
So I was a big fan back then, but as I grew up, it became more into geek stuff and music. But after watching The Last Dance, all of that love started to come back to me. It felt like the same experience I had with Power Rangers 7 years ago when it just flooded back all the love, all the interest for the fandom. It popped.
I'm telling you, man,
right
nostalgia, baby, nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's like it hits you,
It hits
like,
you
right in the childhood, like it gets you, like
hits you real bad. So
mm-hmm.
there, after The Last Dance, I was like, hey, I'm an adult. I have money to buy shoes. My mom has no say anymore. So I started to, re-educate myself with sneakers and re-educate myself with the game of basketball. And man, that's like my thing right now. I was even lucky enough to be part of the virtual audience in one of the Lakers
Yes, I
games.
saw that, dude, with the Laker game.
That's
So
so
that
cool. I
was-
didn't know that.
That was an experience. I mean, it's basically you're watching the game from the screen, but your face is also on the live feed.
Yes.
So it's like,
Right. Yeah.
oh man, that's pretty cool.
You're like, hey, I'm on TV.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like that whole geek mentality that I've always had. It carried over to the NBA
Sure, man.
fandom and the sneaker fandom again.
Didn't I see some Red Ranger Jordans one time from you or
Yeah, he has some. You have the Zeo and Red Ranger.
I had it custom made.
Those are
because
sick, man. By the way, I dig those quite.
I'm such a I always love infusing my passions.
Mhm.
So I was so into Air Jordans, and I'm so into Power Rangers. Kablam!
Yeah,
Let's
that's a mashup, baby, mashup.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it. That's really cool.
I haven't worn it outside the house.
Oh,
because
you haven't?
I'm so afraid.
So afraid to mess them up.
Yeah. But
Yeah, hey, that's cool.
It's
Sometimes-
beautiful in its case. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they're a work of art. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
shoes are art for people. Sometimes, you know what I mean? And they don't wear them; they just display them, and I think that's really cool. But hey, maybe when if and when I get the chance to get over there to the Philippines, we need to have your boy make me a pair of those as well.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I definitely
Definitely.
want a pair of those. So
Definitely.
that would be great. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, that's
And
awesome,
he can,
man.
he can make them sooner too. By the way, he doesn't have to wait for me to get there. I can just send them on over. Okay.
It's pretty cool, man. And we're having a conversation on the chat while you were talking about your sneakers, and it's again, it's inspiring, at least for me. Listen, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I came to this country at 8 years old. You know, I've been afforded the opportunities that I have now. I was a Marine. I fought in Operation Iraqi and Enduring Freedom. So like, you know, like I've had a long road to where I'm going. And I'm sure you have as well, because you're in your 30s. Am I right?
Yeah, 35.
35. Yeah. I mean, so you've put this incredible time and effort into your channel, and you know, we were talking about that, and we're kind of recognizing how amazing this is. That, you know, everybody always says that you kind of gotta like be in the States to get, you know, like, because of the people that are here, right? So it's hard for us to get, for you to get that those people. But anyway, long story short, man, it's like, it's really inspiring to see someone like yourself at the point that you're at right now and where you are going, because it's not stopping. Do you feel that maybe perhaps during quarantine is kind of hampered it a little bit, or has it pushed you to go up another level, like kind of like shift into turbo? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, it's the old way of filming for sure hasn't been there, because to create the content that I've been used to creating in the past few months, like with, you know, 2 to 3 cam setup, and with my stunt team and with my crew, that can't happen anymore. So I had to really think of stuff that I can do here in my apartment.
Right.
So I actually had another Umbrella Academy collaboration with Netflix, and I was like, how am I gonna film this thing?
Right.
So I just like the backgrounds you have behind you, green screen is like
Of course.
the best friend you can
It's
ever
your best
have.
friend, yeah.
Green screen,
So-
baby. Hold on. Wait a second.
There it is, everyone. Completely his face gone.
Oh my god.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I got to film a skit with a green screen. I just took pictures of the outdoors,
Yeah,
like my rooftop and the street, and I just place it in the background and
that's so
do some
smart.
little tinkering with the imaging. And
Yeah.
yeah, some people thought I was actually outdoors without a mask, and I was like, "Why aren't you wearing a mask?" I was inside, man.
Oh, that's why you posted that video with the green screen, kind of like, hey guys, yes, I saw that, because you were getting that flack on Instagram. You were like, no, dudes, like, you know, I was indoors.
I wear a mask. I wear a mask outside.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was filming that indoors.
So let me ask you something. Did you ever get any training in videography or anything like that, in communications? You know?
Hell no, man. Like,
Wow, that's awesome.
My life was all about music, but I figured when it comes to video, I feel like when I was starting out, it was all about common sense for me.
Right.
If I watched something that I felt was okay to watch, I think I was hoping like my judge of what is visually appealing would help me, and I guess in some way it did. Like I used the like common sense, like not just like with editing music. I feel like editing video, you have to have timing. You have to have I guess your own sense of style. But yeah, common sense. I mean, you wouldn't want to watch something like I say a line and there's like 5 second lag before it goes to the next dude. So you know, you have to think, is it the right amount of time to cut to the next scene? I mean,
Right.
that's
It's like when the bad guys are waiting for the Rangers to morph. Remember that? You see that video, you know, and they're like, "It's morphin' time," and they're like, "Tyrannosaurus, Dragonzord, Tigerzord, Pterodactyl," and then the guys, the villains, just like, okay.
Dude, that's amazing. And have you done a parody of that yet? I think you did,
No,
right?
no.
No? Oh, well, I mean, there's your next video right there.
I mean, that's already a parody, though. Like, you get to do a
Yeah.
parody of a parody. I don't know. I mean,
But yeah, the video I learn from every video.
That's crazy,
And
man. That's
when
really
I
cool.
when I look back on my first videos, I'm like, oh man, that kind of sucked.
No, yeah, but
But
is
yeah,
it...
you have to learn. You have to go through that.
Right,
Especially
right.
if I had to force myself to learn this because this is what I do,
Yes.
and I had no time to like take a course because I'm always filming. I'm always creating content, so I needed to learn on the go.
Now tell us a little bit about the family. How do they look at you with your YouTube stardom and where you're at now? Like, was it something like, listen, when I was growing up, Power Rangers was considered geeky, right? Like you used to get made fun of sometimes, and the bullies would bully you like, oh, you like Power Rangers? Let me beat the crap out of you.
They didn't make fun of me.
Of
They
course
didn't
not.
make fun of me.
Of course not. Of course not.
I'm like, what? Yeah, what? I'm a Power Ranger. What up?
I was a fat little nerd, so I remember watching it, and people, and getting made fun of. So for you, like coming up and realigning your love for this, like how does the family and your friends look at you now? Like, where they have you had that support there?
I think weirdly enough, I've always had that support because my family and friends really, well, as an adult, they really know that I'm into the fandoms, the geeky stuff, the action figures and the shows. So, I think they're even more proud now because I actually evolved that love and fandom into something that can pay the bills, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's pretty great, man. So yeah, I'm just reading the chat, just making sure I don't miss anybody.
There's so many people that they're showing you so much love today, buddy. I mean, I don't know if you're watching on Twitch with us or not, but
it's on my cell phone. But
yeah,
it's on your cell phone. Yeah,
I just want to make sure I don't miss anything that's going by, because when it does go by, I want to make sure that
1,000%. And by the way, Chris, like if you're reading something and we don't seem to be like getting it, like or you saw a question from somebody you want to answer, please by all means. Like if you see something that we missed, but you can definitely feel free to jump in on that. We want to try to like give the fans as much interaction as possible too. Because we've just been so grateful for all their support too. So I don't say here we go.
And also, by the way, you were on the Tonight Show as well, but you said before in Indonesia, was it that you were at? So you were there.
Indonesia Tonight Show. Okay.
Yeah, how did that all occur? Like that's still pretty cool. I saw the video of it, and I'm like, this is crazy. You were there with Yoshi, right?
It looked like a legit show.
It does. I mean, it is. Yeah.
It's like one of their biggest talk shows.
Right.
So I think 2 years ago, PopCon Indonesia invited Yoshi Sudarso, Peter Sudarso, Walter Jones, and myself, representing the Power Rangers fandom, to their con. And one of the things we did to promote the con was we were invited into this talk show, and it was pretty good. I mean, just to be with Yoshi and the other guys, that was a great experience. And to help promote the brand,
right?
The brand that I love, felt so good.
Yeah, but was that your first time meeting Walter Jones though, or being able to interact with him, or had you met him before, like at some of the other cons or something?
Yeah, I met him at Power Morphicon, but as a fan, my very first Power Morphicon. But that was the first time we got to be friends, and that was also the time we filmed something. I saw that. My collab with Walter was filmed. His scenes were filmed in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
So that was,
okay. All right, cool. Because I remember that he was in one of your videos too, and I didn't know if if that happened like in Indonesia or if that was at Power Morphicon. I can't keep up, man. You got too much stuff going on.
Yeah, you do, man. Tell me a little bit about your costumes and the designers. How do you keep up with all the designs and all the helmets? Like these are legit helmets you're wearing in every single scene, right? These are like fiberglass helmets that you have.
They're not made out of paper mache.
No, not like mine. Yeah, these things are like legit. Can you tell us a little bit about your costume designs and who you're using for this?
The guy I get a bulk of my costumes from is a guy named Nimoy.
Mm-hmm.
His official handle is Kamen Rider Nimoy.
So okay.
He likes Kamen Rider as well. But we started at the same time. My YouTube channel and his craftsman workshop, we were basically starting at the same time. So he made my first helmet, when I wore that in the video, I was promoting him, and we kind of just rose together,
That's
which is really
crazy.
cool. So now he is one of the costume makers that a lot of people, even from the States, get from.
Yes, you're right.
Meow.
And what I love about it is um, he lives here in the Philippines, so I don't pay a
The
huge
shipping
amount of
taxes?
shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
huge
literally,
shipping fees. Yeah.
I just pay how much it's really worth.
Right,
Uh,
right.
and that's what I felt. It was lucky for me because I can get a couple more helmets and costumes than the regular guys because I don't have to pay like $400
Correct. You're right.
for
Yeah.
just a helmet for one thing.
Now,
Yeah, well, oh, sorry.
no, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no, I was just gonna say, like, when it come to the costume. So as you guys probably know, because I've mentioned it like a couple times on the show, whatever. I will be moving to London very soon, probably in about 3 weeks. I'm gonna be moving, and in London. Right in Piccadilly Square inside Planet Hollywood, when you walk in, the first thing you see when you walk in is my suit from the TV show. Now, when you look down on the bottom, it says it's Steve Cardenas' suit from the movie, but I think that I think they just got. But that was one of the Red Ranger suits that I wore, and I'm gonna make it my goal that before, like, because I'm gonna be in London for a couple of years probably, but when I come back, I'm bringing that freaking suit with me. Like, I want that suit that I used to wear. So I don't know how I'm gonna make that happen. I don't know if I have to smash the glass and take it myself and run out with the mannequin. But that is my goal. I'm gonna figure out how I can win if and when they're gonna take that thing down. And when they do, they need to give it to me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
When I was in the UK visiting friends, we ate at Planet Hollywood, and I have a picture with that suit.
Do you have the pic? Yeah. Every time I go to London, we always go by Planet Hollywood, and I always do a little selfie, legitimately like a selfie.
Oh my God, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. That is like amazing just to hear. Before we end the show, I got one more question from the crowd here, and then I have another question for you. Is who's your favorite Gold Ranger?
Do you mean like the Sixth Ranger? You mean?
Yeah, like there's always So how was it, Austin?
Right, because they're not always a Gold Ranger.
Right, right.
But there's always a Sixth Ranger that seems to come in.
Yeah.
Damn, that's hard. That's hard. I think. I think the Gold Ranger from Zeo.
From Zeo, right? The original gold and black. Yeah.
He did look the coolest. He did have a pretty cool outfit.
And when he came out on screen and it was Austin St. John, I was like, whoa, mind blown.
Yeah.
As a kid, that was like, wow.
Right.
It was like the first instance that we felt like, ooh, is this like a cross?
Right.
Yeah, and like I remember filming those episodes when Austin was on there, and one of the fun ones was, it was like, everybody thought, hey, Jason's back. You think you're gonna get kicked to the curb, kind of thing. And I was like, I think that episode was like Mondo's Last Stand or something like that, and I decided I'm gonna take on Mondo myself so I can prove that I'm better than I'm worthy to keep being a ranger, kind of thing. But I don't know. Did you like Zeo? I liked Zeo personally, like myself, because like fans always come up to me and they say, so what do you like better, the green? Oh, sorry, what was it? What colors were I? What do you like better, the red or the blue? And I was like, well, my character was the same. Like, it's the same person. He just had a different suit. So I always say, do you mean like what suit did I like better? And they're like, yeah, what suit did you like better? I'm like, well, naturally, the Red Ranger suit is the most iconic. It's the most recognizable. When everybody thinks of Power Rangers, that's what they think of, is that particular suit. So to have been able to wear that and to don that outfit, is a big honor. So I hold a special place for that Red Ranger suit. However, Zeo was like my favorite season to work on. I felt like they gave our characters a lot more development. They gave us a lot more to do. I always found that kind of fun, and so personally for me, my favorite season was Zeo. But was Mighty Morphin just like your absolute all time favorite, or is there other ones that you like?
No,
A
Mighty Morphin was obviously the one I grew
The
up to, but
cream of the crop, huh?
Zeo in space,
mm-hmm.
I love like my second cosplay was a Zeo cosplay, so
Yes.
I
Okay.
really enjoyed.
So,
I
much
think
love,
my
much
favorite,
love, much love. Appreciate
I
it.
think my favorite episode from Zeo was when Nakia and Jason couldn't stop singing.
Oh.
Oh my God.
That did it for me for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that one, like, I felt so bad for those guys because you see the scene and you just hear them singing one time, but you don't. But you realize, Chris, but and
Yeah.
we realize, but as you're watching it as a young kid or whatever, you don't realize like how many takes after take after
Yeah.
take after take those guys had to do, and at the end their voices were just wrecked. So I felt bad for those guys that
And
day.
and before we kind of like lay down the Instagrams and where we're going this weekend and what we're doing. My last question to you is, have you ever were you ever gotten approached by Saban or anybody from Power Rangers for all of the stuff that you've done?
Like, did they give you a
Um,
hard time?
no, I think um, when I started to really develop my channel, and I actually got to meet some of the folks from Hasbro, it's like they're just happy that I'm promoting the brand. Like I'm spreading a positive message,
That's
Right.
amazing.
promoting the brand, and you know, I told them this also. It's like there is not a day that I don't see a comment saying I fell back in love with Power Rangers because of your video.
Right.
So for sure, I feel so good that I got to spread this positivity, but I
Right.
also feel good that I got to promote the brand that I love, which is Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And as long I think since this is a kids show, as long as I stay true to the family oriented
Right.
themes, and since legit also that's how I want to put out my stuff to the world, because I don't want to spread negativity
Of course
as
not. Right.
Yeah.
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 I don't want
Right.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
spread.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, there's so much, shit happening.
There's so much
Of course.
yeah, exactly. There is a lot
Yeah,
of like shit, and there's so much negativity out there already. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, you
And
know,
if I can get, if I can have 10 minutes out of someone's day to make them, enjoy life
Of
or just
course.
laugh,
yeah.
Yes.
I feel like that's an accomplishment for sure.
Well, yeah, and and there's just definitely a lot to be said, and just for me, like I just want to say, like I'm really like happy for you, and I'm really like proud of you for all that
Thank
you
you.
do because, not like I said, not only is it keep it alive and keep it interesting and unique and entertaining for all of the fans that we have everywhere, but I just like to see somebody, get some success in life and better their life doing something they love, and it just so happens to be the thing that we created in the beginning,
Yeah.
and you guys are passing it on and keeping it going, and so I just wanted to tell you that we appreciate that for sure, and
Thanks, man.
we really appreciate you coming on the show too, buddy. Thank you so much. And maybe I mean, not that people don't already probably know, but tell them where they can follow you, tell them how they can find your YouTube channel, just just as a formality. Everybody already knows anyway, but
So yeah, I'm on Instagram, Cantada Force, Facebook, Chris Cantada Force, and YouTube, Chris Cantada Force.
There you go.
loving
So
it, baby.
It was forced because prior to Power Rangers, I was a big, and still am. I'm a big Star
Mega.
Wars fan.
Oh, Star Wars fan. Okay.
My tattoos, Stormtrooper.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
Okay. So I thought maybe it was because of Megaforce or something. So, but
that makes
good
sense
to
too.
know that it's
Because
that. Yeah.
I started the YouTube channel years before I started making this type of content. Like everyone, I'll make a YouTube channel so that I can comment on videos. So
Right. Right.
I
Right.
started a YouTube channel 2011, and I started doing this 2015. So yeah, I couldn't think of a channel name, so just cantadaforce.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. Well, lucky man. I mean, like, we're just so happy for all your success, buddy. And you do what you can to keep cranking out some good videos. And I know all the fans are definitely gonna keep watching, man, because he's definitely got some cool stuff. Cool shit, dude. Cool shit.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I checked out my
Your DMs?
other
I slid in your DMs, bro.
We slid into your DMs. We're glad you checked them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So, Steve, really quickly, to let them know where you're going to be at this weekend, brother.
Oh yeah, okay. So this weekend, guys, I will be in Salt Lake on Saturday at Rogue Toys, and then I'm leaving right after that and flying to Billings, Montana, to do Gabriel's Toys in Billings, Montana on Sunday. So come down and if you're in that area, in either of those areas, come down and check it out. And then I'm coming home for one day, and then I'm hopping on a plane to go to New York to do the Undiscovered Realm comics in White Plains, New York. So I'll be doing a bit of bouncing around even in the middle of the week this time. So definitely, if you're in New York, come to White Plains and see me on Wednesday evening at the Undiscovered Realm. So I don't know. That's all. Anything else you want to add?
I'm good, brother.
Anyway, okay, cool. So as always, like on behalf of myself and our guest Chris and Alex, we want to thank you guys for joining us today, and may the power protect you, and stay safe out there, guys. Thanks.